Have you ever struggled holding a job and you're going from job to job, getting fired left and right, and you're just wondering, why is it so hard for me to hold a job? Or maybe you just get bored with jobs and you just keep on moving from job to job and just can't find that passion. Well, today I'm going to talk about why it's hard for people with ADHD to hold a job and what you can do about it. Hi everybody, welcome to Optimal Mind Performance. In this channel, we talk everything about ADHD. I'm Dr. LeGrand, and if you are new to this channel and want to know everything about ADHD, we talk about ADHD tips, health and nutrition as far as when it comes to ADHD, as well as different lifestyle tips that you need for ADHD and school tactics. So if you are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, as well as hit the like button if you guys like this video, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other future videos. For me, when it came to looking at different jobs, I went from job to job. I had a hard time holding a job because I grew up with ADHD and dyslexia, and I just found it so difficult because I would get bored so easily. I mean, I had several different types of jobs. I went from landscaping to sales to even just doing custodial work to working at different clinics. I mean, you name it, I've done those types of jobs, several different ones. And I just had the struggle of why is it so difficult for me to hold a job or want to keep a job? Now, I never really get to a point where I get fired. It's because I usually would stay with the job maybe 3 months to 6 months. I think I've only had like maybe 1 or 2 jobs where I actually have been there for a full year, but I would usually leave before, I get to a point where I'd actually get fired. But deep down, as I was going from job to job, I really wanted to hold a job for a long time because I knew a lot of my family and friends who stayed with the job for 4 or 5 plus years, build a good resume, and able to progress in the company and make more money. And I knew this was really important, and this was my desire because if I ever wanted a family and support a family, I needed to be able to have those skills and tactics to be able to hold a job for a long period of time, to be able to kind of progress. So that was my mindset at that time, especially as I was going through college. And the external struggle that I had was really when it came to not holding a job, what I really did not like about it for myself is just progressing in life, progressing in a career. That was the external struggle I had. But really internally, when life kind of went forward, I was starting to, pursue going into medical school and wanted to become a doctor. So I was in the middle of that. I was married at the time and had progressed to that point. But internally, really at that point, right when I finished medical school, I was looking for work, and my wife was the one that was supporting us. And I know internally I wanted to be one to actually support our family because we were looking to have a family, and she wanted to stay home to raise our kids. So I knew that was definitely an internal struggle for me of what I want to have for myself and for my family. So for a period of time, I finally landed my first residency and landed my first job working at a clinic. And this was exciting. I was like, all right, great. Now I get to practice being a doctor. I spent all those years, going to school and being in student debt. And so I was excited. But the wall that I hit was that I really didn't enjoy it. I actually hated being a doctor. And here's why. It's because I had a boss that dictated how I should treat patients, how I should chart, and how I should do every little step when it came to my working at the clinic. I hated this. I hated being a doctor, and I was really frustrated because it's like, wow, I just spent the last 10 years in school, going through college and medical school, and then additionally being in student debt. And this is what has the result of being a doctor. It's like, great. Did I choose the wrong career path? Is this something that I should not be doing? And you guys might be struggling with that. People with ADHD probably get scared, not just people with ADHD, but wondering, should I have gone down this route? Is this the type of career and job I should be pursuing? But amongst all this chaos, I had this epiphany. I realized, you know what? Why don't I actually start my own practice? Why don't I start my own business? Yeah, it might be challenging, but maybe I'll enjoy it more. So at the same time, I started my own practice and still worked at the other clinic to kind of support my family. Because by this time, my wife already had our first child and she was stopping working and she wanted to be at home. So the plan was to continue with both, was to work for, my boss at that clinic as well as run my own practice. But the conflict that I had was I still was running with the same problem whenever I would go to that other practice that was not my own. In fact, at this point, my boss was actually sitting in my patient appointments to actually critique me on everything that I said, all the steps, everything. That became really stressful and frustrating. At that point, I had it. I was done. I was like, you know what? I can't handle this anymore. I need to fully invest 100% on what I enjoy. Because what I found, that the realization that I had was that I loved actually working for myself, working and being my own doctor at my own practice. I really enjoyed it. And so I'm like, you know what? If that's what I enjoy, I need to take a leap of faith and jump fully 100% into it. So I did. I moved that transition of moving towards being fully invested in my own practice. Now, of course, that was scary. There was lots of conflict just when it comes with growing a business, of having consistent income coming in. And that was a challenge. But, and also wearing all the different hats, learning marketing, learning being a doctor, learning running all the business side, learning all the accounting, all these things that you have to learn about business. But the thing that was so amazing about it is I was excited. Every morning I was ready to get started, ready to go for the day because I loved what I actually did. And that was what the big difference was, is actually I had passion. So with that passion, I was able to achieve running and growing a successful practice. And now it supports my family. Now we have 2 kids and my wife is able to still be at home because that's what she wants to do. And that's great. So I'm able to actually still provide for my family and love what I do and being my own boss. And I've been in practice for almost 3 years. That's the longest I've ever actually been in a job for any job. So that's a big achievement for myself. So if you are in that conflict and you're finding yourself, going from job to job, getting fired, or just finding something that's passionate, start thinking, if you have ADHD, maybe it is better to be my own boss, be an entrepreneur, start my own business, start thinking about this. If you're in that conflict, in that situation, I think for us people who have ADHD brains, that's how we think. We think outside the box. We have a hard time with somebody dictating every step, little thing, because it's not our own. Now we of course need structure, but we need to create it on our own. That's the big key that I find. If you wondering why you can't hold a job, maybe it's time to start pursuing your own business and your own career as far as being your own boss. So question for you guys to leave in the comment section below. What are you doing for those steps of becoming your own boss? And if you're not pursuing those steps, what is holding you back for becoming your own boss? And as always, if you guys are new here, go and hit the subscribe button because we talk about everything on ADHD every week on this channel. And then check out these videos. And remember, you guys have an optimal mind. This is Dr. Legrand signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks. Bye.